Good morning, math and sports folks. So I'll start this video off in the bowling unit on the terms that you need to know. So these are terms that you should read through and become familiar with. And this is in the Google Classroom. So bowling is pretty simple. And yes, I know you go bowling and the wherever you are it automatically scores it. But it's good to know how to score a bowling game, and that's what this unit pretty much is going to be on. So general info, one game of bowling consists of 10 frames, not to be confused with a roll. So there are rolls within frames, from one roll if you get a strike to possibly 2 rolls if you get a spare. I think that's the max that you could have. In the last frame, you could have 3 rolls. Anyway, with a minimum score of 0 and a maximum score of 300, each frame consists of 2 chances, 2 rolls. I was just talking about to knock down 10 pins. Knocking down all 10 pins is called the strike, denoted by an X on the score sheet. It takes 2 shots to knock all the pins down. If it takes 2 shots to knock all the pins down, it's called a spare and is denoted by a / on the score sheet. If after 2 shots, at least 1 pin is still standing, it is called an open frame. Whereas open frames are taken face value, strikes and spares can be worth more, but not less than face value. So how to score a strike? What do you do exactly? A strike is worth 10 plus the value of your next 2 rolls. At minimum, a frame in which you throw a strike will be worth 10. And let's say you get 0 on the next 2 rolls. At best, your next 2 shots will be strikes, and the frame will be worth 30. 10 plus 10 plus 10. Say you throw a strike in the first frame. Technically, you don't have a score yet. You need to throw 2 more balls to figure out your total score for the frame. So this has some implications in the last frame. In the second frame, you throw a 6 on your first ball and a 2 on your second. Your score for the frame will be 18. 10 plus 6 plus 2. Okay, how to score a spare. So spare is worth 10 points plus the value on your next roll. So strike gets you the next 2 rolls. A spare gets just the next one. Little cut off there. Say you throw a spare your first frame, then in your first ball, the second frame, you throw a 7. Your score for the first frame would be 10 plus 7. The maximum score for a frame in which you get a spare is 20, a spare followed by a strike, and a minimum score of 10. Let's say if you get 0 on the next. So this has some implications for the last frame. Okay, so if the bowler gets a strike in the first roll of the 10th frame, they must roll 2 more times. So that's why you'll see 3 little spaces like that. If the player is to get a spare in the second roll of the 10th frame, they need to bowl 1 more time. Okay, pretty much common sense. So I scored a couple of games here. So there's 2 things. There's the score of the frame, and then there's the total score. So you have to add as you go. And I just put the score of the frame in the blank, and then I add underneath. In real life bowling alleys, they will total. So you'll see 19, 28, 47, 56. You'll see that in those blanks. They won't show the 2 rows of numbers. But anyway, so here's how this goes. This person, player 1, got a strike. So we need the next 2 rolls to score the first frame. So you add 9. They get those 2 points in the next 2 rolls. So that's 19. And the second frame, they just get 9. It was an open frame. Here they have a spare plus the next roll. So that's 19, 10 plus 9. Here it's an open frame. Here they have a strike, so they get their next 2 rolls, so that's 10. 10 plus 10, that's 20. Here they have a spare, that's 10, plus the next roll, which is a strike, so that's another 10, so that's 20. Here they have a strike plus their next 2 rolls, which is a strike and a 3. So that's 13, so 10 plus 13. Here they have a strike plus the next 2 rolls, so 10 plus 5. Here it's an open frame. Here it's an open frame. I think you get the idea. And then again, you add as you go. So this person scored 148. And this person scored 159. Pretty simple to do. There's no giant idea going on. You should never see a 10. It should be X's. So I had to correct this. This is a spare because of 5. If you knock 5 more pins down, that's going to be a spare. And so you have your assignment to do. And I'll run through this again. Again, I didn't total the as you go points. So this would be 19 and 20 and so on and so forth. I don't think it's really necessary to total the as you go points. But some bowling alleys do it. So 31, 40, 58, 66, 79, 82, and then 100. I guess it's necessary. I'll alter my comments there because the way bowling works, you want to know how you're doing. As your games are progressing, you want to know how you're doing. So you should tally as you go. This person had an open frame on the first frame and then a spare, so they get the value of the next frame, which is 0, so just 10 there. Here an open frame, so 1. Here a spare, so 10 plus 1. Here open frame of 9. Here a strike, so they get the next 2, so that's 18. Here an open frame. Here a spare, so plus the next open frame, 3. Here open, and then so we have the 3 again. Strike plus the next 2, so 18. So your assignment today is to do the next 3 games. Pretty easy assignment. And then there's a couple more assignments we have. A couple open-ended, or one open-ended assignment that we have with, create your own game if I give you a score. All right, so this is the first lesson in the bowling unit.